The perimeter of a shape is how far we walk around the edges. I sometimes imagine I'm an ant walking around the edges. Polygons, fancy vocab word, they are shapes whose edges are straight lines and they are closed shapes. So what is not a polygon? If I had something that had some edges that were not a straight line, that would not be a polygon. Or if I had some shape that was not closed, that would not be a polygon. You probably think those are sort of stupid shapes because in math class we never use them, right? So that's what polygons are. Here's a bunch of polygons. If we had a polygon, we could find its perimeter. We would measure it in real life. If I was, for some reason, building something shaped like this, then I would probably be measuring it with a tape measure or a ruler or whatever is the appropriate thing. But usually on a math test like the GED, they don't ask you to take out a ruler and measure things in front of you. They're just going to give you the measurements. So here, 9 meters, 5 meters, 4 meters, 6 meters, 8 meters, everything is already measured. I am curious if the GED ever asks you to measure something and gives you a ruler, but I think the answer is no. Don't trust me though. The other good news is you have a calculator on the GED. So the calculator is going to add up these numbers for you. You don't have to worry about, my brain is panicking, I'm taking a test, am I going to make a stupid mistake? Because everyone makes stupid mistakes in math when their brain is panicking. About the only thing people do wrong is that when they're adding things up, they might either forget a number. Uh-oh, I left out the 8. Or they might double count a number. Uh-oh, I put in the 9 twice. Because you're sort of going around, and because you're panicking because it's a test, you either forget to go all the way around or you go around too much. So the way to avoid those careless mistakes is on your paper to make a mark. I'm going to start here and go that way. And then when you put all your numbers down, 9, 5, 4, 6, and 8, you'll see your mark and say, I can stop and I'm not going to go too far. While we're here, what is the perimeter of this example shape? We know it's meters, whatever it is. Tell me 2 numbers from the ones column that I can combine first.
4 and the 5.
The 4 and the 5. I could and get 9, but I like 10s because I want to put something in the 10s column.
Maybe the 9 and the 6.
The 9 and the 6. Some people could do that. 9 and 6 is 15. So that gives me, 10's column number from the 1. And it also gives me a 5. And then I could say 5 and 5 is 10. So there's another 10's column. So I've used up this 5 and this 9 and that 5 and that 6. What I have left is 8 and 4. I wouldn't normally write these off on the side like this, but I want you to be able to see in front of you what I'm thinking. 8 and 4 is 12. So I put the 2 there and I carry the 1. And then 10, 20, 30, I have 3 different 10s. I could check this on my calculator. So I can say, let's look at a calculator and do 9, 5, 4, 6, and 8. 9 plus 5 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8, and 32 is my answer. Okay, your turn. What's the perimeter of these 2 shapes? And what I'm going to do now is a different thing with the Jamboard than we've done before. I have 3 people that have joined. So I'm going to make a copy of this page. And the 4 people here. Okay, so 2 of you. Liv had stepped away, so I'm assuming it's everyone but Liv. So on this page, I'll have Josie and Jaden do your work. And on this page, I will have Kaden and Haley do work. Is Haley also a Cody, by the way? Are there 2 people there? I wasn't quite sure with the communication we had earlier. Okay, so now you have 2 people on a page and you can take the pen yourself, write all over it. Or do this on paper. Find the perimeter of the 2 shapes. And we'll talk about how you did it and be able to write on your own page. The problem we have is you don't have separate voice channels. You can type at each other in chat, or you can just talk, and that's okay that you overhear each other. Nothing secret is happening. Okay, they are doing something. Kaden and Haley.
We are a.
I got the answers, but I'm not using a computer, so I'm using my phone, and I don't know if I could dot anything on my phone.
That's fine. Can you, on the phone, do a text chat in the Zoom to your partner Haley? I know on the computer, you can go into chat and say, not to everyone, but just to one person, I'm going to send a message. But your phone might not be as friendly. You could at least confirm that Haley's answers match yours before you move on. Okay, let's talk about things. So Josie and Jaden, how did you get 12?
We just added 4, 3, and 5 together.
4, 3, and okay, so I will make a little mark here. You started that way. 4 and 3 is 7, 5 more is 12, and ta-da. Since we're doing kind of shape problems that are labeled, you would want in theory to label your answer, although with the annoyingness of Jamboards, I'm not going to blame you for with a mere mouse trying to not write that. So good job. This one was kind of weird. This side isn't labeled. And this side isn't labeled. So what do we do? How can we add things up if there's no numbers there?
You just, I guess, copy what it says for the same sides.
Yeah, that's just how rectangles work. This side is the same as this side. So if it's 3 inches, it's going to stay 3 inches. Similarly, the top and bottom are the same. So if it's 6.1 on top, it's going to be 6.1 inches on the bottom. So which corner do you want to start out as we're adding? I want to make my little mark a corner again. So just tell me where to start. No preference at all, Josie or Jaden? Oh, Josie has disappeared, tech issues. Okay, I will just keep going. I'm going to start there. So 6.1 and 3 and another 6.1 and 3. This one I included just to show you that decimals aren't any more complicated than other numbers. We officially haven't done decimals yet. If you got this wrong, that's not a mark against you at all, but just line it up. These are all ones columns. So 1 and 1 is 2, 6 and 3 is 9, another 6 and 3 is another 9, 9 and 9 is 18. There we go, so 18.2. What happened here, I am guessing, is that you treated these as 0.3 instead of 3, because that would make 12.8 total. But that is. Did Caden and Haley have anything to add on their page? Haley's mic isn't working, so just type.
No, we both got the same thing.
Oh. So sorry to trip you up with decimals, but just they're not scary. They're just lining things up. We will eventually do more decimals. So there's 2 ways to make a perimeter problem tricky. The first is to hide a measurement unit conversion inside the perimeter. So I have a rectangle here. Its sides are, let's make a nicer rectangle. There we go. The sides are 2 feet long. And 20 inches wide. What is the perimeter? So my problem is as I go around, I have apples and oranges. Feet and inches are different things. I can't add them up. I could take my feet and change it into inches, or I could take my inches and change it into feet. In this case, they ask for inches. So to save work, I'm just going to make everything inches to start with. So my answer is in inches, and then I'll be done. Sound good? So how many inches are in 1 foot?
$12.
12. And if I do that again, another foot is another 12. So 2 feet, when I add them up, is 24. No carrying needed. So I'm just going to say, get rid of that and put 24 inches for the top and the bottom. Then again, pick one place to start so I don't mess up. 24, then the 20, then the 24, then the 20. Add things up. 4 and 4 is 8. I don't need to carry. 2, 4, 6, 8. So 88 inches total. Everyone happy with that problem? I am sorry to say the GED loves this kind of thing. They like to add extra steps to problems, and an easy way to do that is to give you measurement units that don't match. So you have to change one of them into the other, like feet into inches. The other way is to hide some addition or subtraction inside the problem. When my grandfather turned 70, he started to walk 3 miles each morning. Now he's 75 and we have no idea where he is. Oh, okay, when my grandfather turned 70, he started to walk around the neighborhood like this. How many miles does he walk each week? So the first thing I'm going to do when I read this is say, and in small panic, they're not asking each day, they're asking each week. So after I find my perimeter for 1 day, I'm going to have to do a times 7 to get the week. That makes sense because he does this 7 times in a week every morning. But that's just like a note for later. That's on the back burner. I want to do my perimeter. I am missing some sides, but unlike this problem, I can't just photocopy the numbers because it's not a rectangle. So how long is this top?
Is it 3 miles?
It is. How did you get that?
Well, because I just kind of like went with like the lines, like the top, if that bottom is 2 miles, then from like that corner would be 2, and then that little other corner. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, kind of like
I'm
that.
trying to draw with yellow, which doesn't work very well on this background. Let me try it again. So you have this little bit,
Makes it a mile.
you have this little bit, and they combine to get the top.
Yes.
So that means the top is going to be 3 miles total. Okay, now it gets harder. How about, that doesn't work at all. This little bit. We do have that, and we do have that going up and down, but I can't just add them up.
Is it like a half mile?
It is. If the whole thing from here to here is 1.5, and this is one of it, then this has to be the half. So now I'm ready. I'm going to mark where I start. And I have 3 and 1.5 and 2 and a 1 and another 1.5. And the first thing I'm going to say is this half and this half combined to make 1, because I don't like fractions. So get rid of them. They are now this one right here. Everyone okay with that switch? Then I can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so 9 miles total. That was every morning, he goes 9 miles. And then we have that 9 miles times 7, because it was each week. And on your calculator, we can do that. 9 times 7, we have 63. And that's as hard as these can get. Ignore the multiplication for now, because officially we haven't done multiplication. But the only two ways to make adding up numbers tricky is either first to give you numbers in the wrong format, so you have to uncode them, or second, to make little puzzles about where the missing numbers are. But you can do that. For our thinking thing, draw a polygon with 7 edges and draw a shape with 4 edges that's not a polygon. And finally, you don't have to solve it yourself, but just draw a tricky perimeter problem that involves both kinds of trickiness, changing feet to inches and having some hidden addition and subtraction because not all the sides were labeled. If we have a great one of these that someone sends me before next Tuesday, that'll be our warm-up problem for Tuesday. Questions about this at all? I'll stop the recording.